we doing? Are we got the two streams going over here? Yep, they're connecting now. We're connecting now. Okay, so let's go to the... Alright, let's start the video. Sound. Check. Microphones. You gotta plug in my microphone. Okay. Well, let's roll, guys. Let's get this started. You excited? Yep. Hi guys, hello, meet everybody. It's MicheleMarieDalene, and today we are actually doing something that is a first for me. We are actually streaming in both YouTube and on the other side at the same time. It's saying here, so on keyframe interval settings is still recommended to. So anyway, like I said, I gotta change some things here. Stream. Okay, so it says your stream is server 2 recommend is 2, and of course here is 2. Oh dear me, we got a slight issue. Well, okay. So unfortunately, as I said, they got the system set here for. Wow. Okay, well it's working. It's working. Yep. So anyway, this is the first time we've ever done this, and I am very excited about the opportunity. The technology may not be that good. Please note we are actually streaming simultaneously on 2 different systems. So let me just minimize this window here and get ready to switch this screen over to see the chats. And I'm really kind of excited about this, but I've never done this before. So everything I'm doing here is completely new. Completely new and improved. Well, maybe not new and improved, but definitely new. And so let's get started with the questions. And right now I don't see any. Oh, every now and then my stupid computer pops things up. It shouldn't pop up, and that's when it always gets headaches. Always begins. So, okay, so let me switch back into her. This is where people have pointed out, this is where it is awesome to have the ability to have 2 programs to do this job. So, we don't have 2 programs. So, we're going to just start with the one we have. So, let's go to our desktop right now. And let's add the phone number to that so that people can see it. And I'm going to dissolve that screen over. And you can see our screen that is our chat software. I'm going to just minimize this for right now so we can make room on the main screen for everybody else. And on this one right here, so that you can see the questions. And already we see is, let's talk about the Trump of the porn star, and I don't know anything about that. Let's see. Or Trump golfing on okay. Well, maybe he didn't go golfing a day, and that's fine. You know what? I'll tell you something. What did you do on Martin Luther King's Day, guys? I think he's doing pretty good. Ruben says, I'm in Chicago for a conference and freezing. Yeah, it is warmer because there is a polar inversion. That's what is causing the cold trends for people all over the United States. I got a lot of crap running in the background here. Let's see if we can get rid of some of this stuff. Like, for example, why do we have system preferences open in the first place? I don't want system preferences open. Yeah. Okay. So, phone numbers are listed. That's fine. That's what I'm going to see. I'm going to minimize it the same way I increase it. Cam twist. Then minimize the window again. I'm actually still learning this software, guys, so. I was going to show you guys the screen on the other setup, but right now I am showing you guys the, I see the 2 messages, comments on the YouTube. Little comments come up on my screen. I'm going to get to those guys in a little while because obviously I don't want to mess this up for you guys to read the comments. You'll see that on our left screen we have the YouTube, and on the right side we have the Twitch. And already we got a phone call. Let's wish me all that, guys. Go ahead, call you on the air.
Hello.
Yeah, how you doing?
Is this the North American Snow Queen?
Yes, it is.
Hey, it's People of Peace.
Can you repeat that, please?
It's People of Peace.
Yep, the North American Snow Queen. That's me. Anyway, how you doing today?
Good.
That's good. Where are you calling from?
Canada.
From where?
Montreal.
Okay. Are you keeping comfortably warm or cool this day, wherever you are, maybe?
Yes, it's freezing.
Oh, isn't that wonderful? Yeah, there's nothing like a nice cold day to wake you up in the morning.
As long as you're dressed well.
Yeah. You gotta make sure you have plenty of heating oil or natural gas or propane or wood, whatever you heat with.
Well, me and my sister, we live in a building.
Yeah.
The building has the heating, but I think where you live, they might not have it because it's in a more rural community. I don't know.
Well, you know, it's a funny thing. I just checked the weather forecast for the next few days, and it's going to warm up in my area a little bit. Not too much, though, but it is going to warm up a tiny tad. How does the video look on your side of the computer?
I'm not watching. Well, I tuned in a little, but I just decided to call, and I'm not watching it right now. But I could log back in. Okay,
but you can see the video pretty good, though.
Yeah.
No, that's good.
I could earlier. I really like the other studio where there's pictures in the background.
Oh, yes. That studio is, right now, I'm on the phone, so I can't really get over there to the studio. But I know what you're talking about. Yes, that studio is like the one I showed you earlier today in the demo. Let me go back to that video here. Let me go back to that. Yep. I can just switch over to that right now, actually. Watch this. But I don't screw up on it. Yep. 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 And I just hit this whole screen.
How many of them do you have?
You can see my hand now?
How many of them do you have?
I'm always, see, right in the same studio. It's just that I can't really hear the phone calls and read the screen at the same time.
Oh.
So you see, it's me. But I worked hard to get the green screen to work pretty good. If I turn the green screen off, it would be kind of boring looking. I can show you what I'm talking about here. Right now I'm running over my...
Yeah. Are you still thinking of running for governor, or people are asking that? But
well, the first thing is I don't know how well likely the people in the state of Connecticut are going to want to endorse me. It would take a lot of legwork to get the kind of induction needed to get them to endorse me. You have to understand that it's not easy to get that kind of endorsement, because it's, I think I'd probably be just as much as hated as Donald Trump is, but everybody doesn't seem to realize that Donald Trump has been doing a very good job.
Yeah. You could just endorse someone that's already running if you don't want to run.
What's that now?
You could just support someone who's running if you don't want to run.
Have you ever seen my video there, the parallels between Winterville and Connecticut?
No.
It's on my YouTube channel. talks just about that exact topic. What would I do as the governor? What would I do as the queen? What is the Queen Michele going to do for Winterville? And we talk about the parallels between the former Winstead, which became Winterville, and the state of Connecticut. And
yeah, but well, it's the 21st century. I feel like it's time for people. Do you know about the New Age?
Minimum wage increasement?
No.
Well, there's a problem with
the New Age.
Well, here's the problem. When you increase the minimum wage,
age.
What's that?
The New Age. The New Age time.
Oh, age, time. My age?
No, the New Age.
I'm 49 years old.
No, the New Age.
Yeah. Let me just switch these back over here. I'm still learning how to use this software here.
Wait, the New Age. Do you know the New Age?
Am I into the New Age?
No, do you know it as in, have you heard of it, like, things are supposed to get better in some aspects eventually for the battle between good and evil.
Oh, you mean the spiritual New Age?
Yes, things are supposed to be getting better in justice.
Well, I think that there is some things going on. This Enlightenment period is happening. And I think that's indigenous to one of the reasons why what's going on with the New World Order is so angry with Donald Trump. Because Donald Trump was considered to have been, chosen by God, which is pretty interesting enough to think about.
Yeah. Have you heard the rumors that Hillary might be getting arrested or something?
Excuse me?
That Hillary might be getting arrested.
That's amazing. We just had some audio problem.
Hillary, have you heard the news? She might be getting arrested.
Who might be getting arrested?
Clinton.
Oh, the Clintons.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because they found a lot of evidence that indicates that they have plenty of reasons to be indicted. It's not just going to be because of one or two things. The Clinton Foundation has got
people. They always get away with it.
He's really, Bill Clinton, is a sex predator. Hillary Clinton and the Clinton Foundation have been doing money laundering and conspiracy and with the help of George Soros. It's really just generally just a royal mess overall what's going on.
Yeah.
And right now, it's funny because, like I said, I'm looking at the two different chat screens. And right now the Twitch screen is pretty empty. Whereas the YouTube one has got a very active chat going on, which is nice. I like seeing that.
Anyways, I don't know how much they would charge because I'm calling from Canada across the border. So I just want to sum things up, and I'm going to go back to the comment section.
Well, I'll tell you what. Just keep in mind with the chat. At least as far as I know, they don't charge you per megabyte per internet, right?
No, they don't. They don't. But can I say something before I go?
Oh, sure thing.
Well, what I was saying, it's the 21st century, and even though things soon, like, things are changing for the better in some ways, in terms of people with disabilities or racism, things are becoming better. We're becoming more tolerant and accepting towards different people. And what I'm saying is that even though you have whatever your situation is, people might be more open to your talent, and they would accommodate your disability because they should focus more on your talent, the things you could do for your state.
Well, that's true, but don't forget, with the modern technology, we've also have other ways to make it easier for the handicapped, too. I mean, look at what this channel's doing. I'm legally blind, and I run this channel, and it's running out of the Snow Queen Palace in a spare room we call the multimedia room. I hate to show you what the electric bill is. This place says it runs a lot of watts. But I agree with you that there is going to be some positive changes for the handicapped. But there's also going to be those who are constantly going to be trying to always keep us in a box. Because they don't want to accept that the handicapped can be productive members of society.
Right.
And that's where, again, you know, even with my handicaps, including my hearing, I mean, I'm doing things that many people thought was impossible. And that's something that makes it really wonderful, is how we can make these kind of changes.
Well, my sister has a disability, yet she found a great job with the police, and she's doing really well. She's won awards for catching criminals and such things.
I didn't quite catch that. With the Disabilities Act, there's a lot of things that have made things better, but I will admit there was a few places where handicapped people, especially the blind, have a hard time. Many of the modern computer software programs, for example, are not really easily accessible to the blind. I know some blind people that would use screen readers. Like I could use a screen reader, but it would get really confusing because I got two open windows watching two chats at the same time. And at the same time, you have to occasionally pop up the video switcher to switch video modes and things like that. And so it does make it easier, but you know, some of the technology really has to be made a little more accessible in some way for the handicapped, especially the blind.
All right. And one last thing I wanted to tell you about. You could write, get a sheet of paper if you want, or I can comment it and you can write it down after.
Well, I think one of the most things that I think you'll agree with me on this is that I think this channel, in many ways, is an inspiration to a lot of other handicapped individuals, just as how Casey Sees It does and Tommy Edison's channel does, that they have demonstrated that despite being legally blind, which she's legally blind also, and of course, being totally blind as Tommy Edison is, that we can still do a lot of things that people never thought we could do.
Right, and about public broadcasting, didn't you used to do that? Are you going to do public broadcasting again?
Public broadcasting where?
Didn't you used to do that or something? I've seen older videos of yours.
Speaking of the videos, you know about the new YouTube AdSense changes. I'm sure you've heard of it.
No.
Well, they now require that for you to receive advertising income, that you have to have 4,000 fewer hours, and you have to have you have to have at least 1,000 subscribers.
Well, I think it's stupid.
I think it's a little extreme, especially with the viewing hours. The subscribers, I think, could be done. I don't see why I could not easily hit 1,000 subscribers by the end of this year. I mean, it's really possible.
Yeah. All right. One last thing. Google. Wait. I'll tell you in the chat because I'll tell you in the chat actually.
Could you repeat that?
I'll tell you in the chat the rest, but I wanted to tell you.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the point is that okay. Well, he left for the call. I guess he was calling long distance from Ottawa, and sure. Talking about Donald Trump and his bankruptcy. In the United States, at least the United States bankruptcy code exists. As one man said in Germany, if you go bankrupt, that's the last time you could ever have your own business. It's, you know, there's nothing, it is disappointing to go bankrupt, really, but honestly, guys, it does happen. People do make mistakes. Trump Airlines didn't work out quite as well as he wanted. The Trump Taj Mahal and Trump Castle casinos in New Jersey, after the Indian reservations got into legalized gambling, there was just no way that New Jersey, Atlantic City could compete against local Indian tribes such as the Oneidas having casino, and of course the Massateca Pequots and the Mohegans in Connecticut having casinos. a lot of those casinos and reservations were a lot closer than they were to drive all the way to New Jersey. And then don't forget, 2007, after the mini depression, it really was a depression. It wasn't really a great recession. Okay, but the point was it was still created a lot of problems. We're still recovering. And, well, that's an interesting comment. I don't really... there's two things about the Russian collusion is that the Democrats, now they're being investigated, by the way. Because, as I said, the Clinton Foundation with the uranium one, that was not even legal. Yeah. You make sure you have plenty of wood, guys. I mean, yes, the cold's nice, but even I have the gray, have some extra wood around. And things like that. It's good exercise, by the way. Cutting wood. It's excellent. It's excellent exercise. Cut wood. Just be careful, with the axe. And of course, if you're using a wedge, be careful. You don't want to cut something you don't want to cut. Hello, people of peace. How you doing? And for you guys on Twitch, maybe I should put a little message out to Twitchers so they know that. So let me send them a message, guys, so Twitchers can know that we are. Oh, we're gonna highlight the screen. Hold on a minute here. Okay, we are now live and taking chat questions. Okay, so I just let the Twitchers know that we are live and taking chat questions in case they didn't know. Obviously, you guys know I'm live, so I'm just going to let you know this. I am watching two chat windows, and will relay messages from one to the other as needed. So that way we know that we're watching two windows simultaneously. And it's nice to see that we have all these things going on right now. It's too bad that Wednesday's chat was a dud. I mean, really, it was a dud. D-U-D-D-D-D-D-D exclamation point. It was like dead. No one came in. I get there the last 40, I was on the air for like 40 minutes and I said, screw this. And I just basically ended the chat. Actually, it was about 1 hour, 10 minutes. It was just, I don't think I'm 24. No, actually, I've been talking the whole time. Yes, she has been. She's been on here the whole time. She's just letting people know that she's actually reading both chat windows simultaneously. Right, I'm reading both at the same time. So, just letting these people know this. I was watching, I went online at about 7 p.m. Eastern Time. I will be mostly reading the chats. Okay, so we'll just let you know that we're going to be mostly reading the chats. And so what I'm going to do is, let me go ahead and let me put my phone number back on the screen here. Oh, this is so irritating. Really? Yeah. It's like guaranteed headaches. Ain't that bad. Ain't that bad. Okay, so there's the phone number for those of you who want to call. 860-738-8463. And as I said, I'm watching both chats at the same time. The one on the... Let me minimize this. The one on the left side is the YouTube chat. The one on the right side is the Twitch chat. So we actually have both chats open at the same time. And let's see. I meant to say a sheet of paper. I'm watching two chat windows at the same time. My first question is I'm wondering how long is it going to be before we can get people to join us on Twitch. It's really easy to find me on Twitch. Just search for Michele, as it says on the top of the window, Bichela. Eventually I will be changing the name, my login name to be closer to that of my which it may help if I have a pen and paper. Okay. I need to take some which may be of help to you if you have. Well, I don't have a pen and paper right now. I don't even have a place to write right now. But I got these chat screens, and I can scroll them backwards and forwards as needed. So I'm not the best speller. That's okay. I have Dory's ability to spell is terrible. I tend to correct her spelling more often than not. Well, the point of adding Twitch was to help promote my channel among more feed social networks. At this point, it's still pretty much in its infancy. It's not really as sophisticated as I would like it to be. But the whole idea with Twitch is that I can actually watch, do two chats in two different systems. So those who are on the Twitch network can see it, and those who are on YouTube can see it. And eventually, I'm going to add both Ustream and also possibly add the ability to do Facebook Live. But because most of my audience watches these channels, videos, on Facebook. Believe it or not, it's true. And so, but I'm trying to promote people to come and see more of my feeds. It's about a job opportunity I am actually interested in, but it may be of help to you. Okay, what is this job opportunity, people of peace? If you really feel it would be better to keep it as confidential, you can certainly send me an email. Let me just give you my email address in case you don't have that. Sorry, I don't have a tagline with that. I do have one. Where's my cursor? There it is. To send ego to bichela3@gmail.com. There it goes. That's how you can reach me. If you want to send me email, let me send the same message to Twitchers. Okay. To send private email, go to bichela3@gmail.com. Okay, so that way everybody can at least be on the same feed. Incorporate Facebook first if you have more viewership there. Duh. Well, yes, I know. Except the only problem was Restream did not have a free option for Facebook Live. That would cost me a monthly fee. So right now we're using the Restream.io free option to see how this works. And if this works well, then we will consider adding more feeds and more options in the future. Yeah, and that's the problem. More feeds and more options in the future means more money, more expense, and more headaches. Yeah. Let me switch the camera back to me, because I'm sure you guys want to see me. Why don't you set the desk, show them the desk setup? Not a bad idea. Okay, let's do that. Let me switch on the chroma key, and so just be aware, guys, when I'm on the, I'm not going to be able to jump over back and forth onto the other screen. So let me just do that. We got to take my headphones off because the cord's not long enough. And look familiar? Yeah. Well, that's the way we do it when we were doing the YouTube channels. The Bcast in the multimedia studio. We'd be using the background that we're using and the chroma key. The only thing is I have to be honest, it's not really necessarily perfect. I'm still trying to dial it in for the best look. But at this point, at least you can see that it works out pretty good. You can see me in the background. I can see my background, my gothic patio. I like the patio. I do have information of the artist who created this. If I could find out who she is, I would like to ask her and give her some kudos for the graphics. It really is a nice background. And it's become pretty much the main set for a lot of my videos. So, really kind of cool to see this effect. And I just wanted to show you that this is the way I would do it. But I got to read the chat, so I got to go back over there to read the chats. But I wanted to show you that this does work. And this software is freeware. So unlike buying an expensive Roland V4 or V8 EX in a roll, you can just use this software called Cam Twist, and it'll do the same job. And it's compatible with my iMac Intel Core 2 Dual machine, which we're using for this video. So, anyway, let me go back to the other computer now. And so we can make sure we can answer the phone if it rings, because obviously I can't answer from here. So, let me switch back over to on this screen. I'm still learning how to do all this stuff with the software. So, I'll keep the phone number on the screen, turn the chroma key off, turn on the CP230, switch over here, dissolve, bing. Alright, so now we got the phone number on the bottom of the screen, and you can see me. And let me minimize the screen so I can see the questions, and of course I got to put my headphones back on. And, where is it? There it is, minimize. I got to make sure minimize and not accidentally hit the red button, which would totally abort everything. No kidding. When a person is certified, they can work as an educational assistant, classroom, and teaching assistants. So you can go. It's called Educational Assistance Program. It's not expensive or affordable. It's basically a 3-month college from where a person is certified. Yes, they do have that type of program. I'm sure that there are many people who have done this in the past. Actually, I do know a teacher. She was looking for a job. She's a certified teacher for the primary grades in the United States. But because she was homeless, the Winston Public School, even though she was living in the shelter, she was between jobs, and she's not handicapped. She found herself they didn't want to give her a chance to show her skills. NCSS, did you buy this go? No, I didn't. I'm going to go take a quick look at it right now. So, that's the reason why I have to be able to jump back and forth here. So let me scroll back up here. We're talking about firewood. Let's see. People Peace. This is sheet paper. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I was reading all the other comments before that. I think I could be pretty good in the educational field, because I do have desires to be a teaching person. So, let's see. Every state had snow this morning. I don't know about every state, but it certainly is. We got a lot of snow already here. Yesterday in Connecticut, we had about maybe about 10 centimeters, which isn't a lot, but very interesting. So, anyway, the phone number is on the screen, 860-738-8463. And, well, as far as me being a teaching, I would probably consider it, but I don't know. I don't do too good with kids, unfortunately. I really don't. And it certainly is an interesting concept to teach classes and things like that. So what I'm going to do right now is let me switch this back to the chat questions so we can all see them together, because that's what I've been doing. Because I watch these, and then I watch you guys, and then I can see what's going on and things as well. So you can see the phone number, 860-738-8463. How is it now that Ed is gone? Well, I'm good friends with Ed. I miss Ed. He said to me from last time I talked to him that he's doing okay in Florida. And he's already got a place arranged, he said. So he wasn't like he was going down to be homeless. He already had something arranged. Dory came by yesterday, as you probably saw in yesterday's video. She was walking around wondering when were you going to get any phone calls yesterday. And I said to her, I don't know. I said, that's a good question. I don't know when we're going to get phone calls. It's just like today. I don't know when we're going to get phone calls. I hope we get more phone calls. If anybody wants to know any more about the YouTube AdSense, there is several news articles both for and against the update. Now, the reason I changed my tune a little bit about the update is because of one reason. There is a lot of channels that, this is where I'm kind of like not too sure I can say it's all bad, but for those reasons why it's bad, let me tell you what it is. There are some channels like mine that are specialized. They don't have a huge following because the material is very specialized. And there's a lot of channels on YouTube like that. They're not necessarily looking into it to make a huge killing. What they're doing is they want to share what they like to do in the hobbies. The pocket money that they were getting was just being used to help offset some expenses. What's your thoughts on what will happen in 2018? What do you feel will happen with the New World Order? What do you think can hope and come and we can take down or cancel the NWO? The NWO is already collapsing. If you watch the news, for example, the European Union is collapsing as individual countries are deciding to leave the European Union and return to their own sovereign nation status. The European currency, the euro, right now, is the only thing that is holding the countries together. They're all basically have said is, you know what? We want to remain our own independent sovereign nations. We don't want to give up our identity. And that's a key piece. So, Ruben Whatever says, what NWO? It stands for New World Order. And this includes things that George Soros was attempting to create. Incidentally, the people of Hungary, the country of Hungary, wants to actually pass an edict telling George Soros that he cannot come home because they see him as a traitorous bastard. And I think he is. I think he's just a horrible person. He sponsors all these organizations like Antifa. Was getting a lot of money from George Soros, and so was Acorn in the past through his organizations. Also, while you're at it, Ruben, please search up for the shadow government or the deep state. You will find that there's a lot of things going on. In fact, a new piece was just reviewed by several senators regarding the FISA. That's the Federal Intelligence Security Agency, which was created to deal with other countries. It turns out that they are doing some clandestine operations that even alarmed a lot of senators and House of Representative members when they saw what the FISA was doing. And of course, the Foreign Intelligence Security Court is the organization of the FISA which is responsible for a lot of things that happen between different countries. And the problem is that there is no jury, there is no open trial, and there's just some all kinds of nasty stuff going on in the background that I was surprised to see it. Unfortunately, I don't have my phone with me right now, so I don't want to use too much jam up too much of my I/O trying to follow the news at the same time. But I will tell you that I can certainly do a whole news piece on the news pieces coming up from Fox News, and also Infowars.com has a huge pile of information on this as well. So if you want to find out more about Infowars.com, or even Breitbart, or even several other organizations, independent news sites that cover materials. But since you guys, a lot of people like to talk about the mainstream media, it's Fox News was one that was pointing out the article about how the senators are alarmed at what the FISA was doing. It's really dark and nasty. They say that they want to make the memo public information because they feel the public must know what's going on. Yeah, I've heard that. That name sounds very familiar to me. Well, let's be honest, Ruben. Tell me one news source that's not unbiased. A lot of news articles are sensationalized. I have to be honest, my news is sensationalized. I try not to do it too much, but sometimes I get caught up in the story, and I get all excited about it too. Sensationalism, of course, and bias are unfortunately the way things are in the modern medium today. I actually, Sunlight Channel, what can you say about that? I have to look back at, I haven't really followed her channel recently, but I have followed Sunfell, but she's not on YouTube. Michelle has this huge binder of pages and notes and notes and notes. You want to show them the pages? I can show them the pages, sure. Let me switch the camera over to me so I can show you guys this book of stuff I've collected. This is going to be fun. But now remember, I cannot see the view at the same time of the screen, so I have to just be patient with me, okay? So let me switch over to that screen right now so I can show you this. I have collected a huge ton of information, and it's only part of it. And pages, brochures from different people on different areas. Such as the ascension from going from indigo to crystal and things like that. For example, this article was done by me and Lumi. This is the ones I'm talking here. There was a numerology report that I did with Lumi. Very interesting mini reading for Lumi, mini reading for me. Twin Flames, Twin Souls by Maria Shaw. Let's see. Why We Feel So Tired So Often. And that's from www.starchildco.za. The Transition, okay, also from Starchild. The Welcome to the Solar Feminine Energy of the Earth, also from www.starchildglobal.com. Let's see. A lot of stuff from Starchild. Crystal Human Angel from Starchild Global. And then, of course, I have articles by Cecilia Fenn. I have articles by Sunfell. I don't know if she's still writing these or not, but this one here from www.sunfell.com, Octarine. There we go. these are just some of the pieces I have. Collects tons and tons and tons and tons of pages, more pieces, or pieces. Huge booklet of pieces of articles. And then, of course, me and Lumi have one we wrote, which we'll share with you. Why not? We also have a few loose ones here about Michelle's personality type, the INFJ. And also, Michele printed this. This was a test of a picture. It is an oak tree dryad. Picture off the internet. Michele printed this on photo paper. Here's another one of Gaia, showing Gaia in color there as a. You can see the water is flowing on her hair, her blue-white hair. Really cool. Really, I like that one. Yeah. And unfortunately, the green may kind of blend it in with the background. Can't really say. Play a look at it. And lots of pieces, lots of articles. And for those of you who are into monochrome, from the same printer, in this regular standard printing paper, in black and white. Very, very cute picture. Example of the INFJ personality, by the way, includes Martin Luther King. It also includes former U.S. President Jimmy Carter, Goethe, Mel Gibson, Mother Teresa, Martin Luther King, Nelson Mandela, Nicole Kidman, and James Wilson from House MD. And then, of course, we have Lumi's personality type. We can go through these real quick. We can do that. Why don't we do that real quick? Okay. Yeah, okay. Personalities with ESFJs include William McKinley, former U.S. President, Bill Clinton, former U.S. President, Harry S. Truman, former U.S. President, Sally Struthers, Mary Tyler Moore, Sarah Palin, Dixie Carter, Sally Field, Danny Glover, Nancy Kerrigan, Dean Winchester from Supernatural, and Monica from Friends. Now, some of these people, unfortunately, have passed away. But let me go through and read my description first. The INFJ type is believed to be rare, less than 1% of the population, and has an unusual set of traits, even though their presence can be described as very quiet. INFJ personalities usually have many strong opinions, especially when it comes to issues they consider really important in life. If an INFJ is fighting for something, this is because they believe in the idea itself, not because of some selfish reasons. And you can see it shows a picture of Martin Luther King on the front of the printing here. INFJ personalities are drawn towards helping those in need. They may rush to be places of major disasters, participate in rescue efforts, do charity work, etc. INFJs see this as their duty and their purpose in life. People with this personality type may firmly believe that nothing else would help the world as much as getting rid of all the tyrants. Karma and similar concepts are very attractive to INFJs. These tendencies also strengthened by the fact that INFJ personalities have a unique combination of idealism and decisiveness. This means that their creativity and imagination can be directed towards specific good. Few other personality types have this trait, and this is one of the most important reasons why many INFJs are able to eventually realize their dreams and make a lasting positive impact. INFJs are masters of written communication, which is a distinctive, smooth, and warm language. In addition, the sensitivity of INFJs allows them to connect to others quite easily. Their easy and pleasant communications can often mislead bystanders who might think that the INFJs are actually an extrovert. Every man must decide whether he or will, and this is a quote, every man must decide whether he will walk in the light of creative altruism or in the darkness of destructive selfishness. That was contributed to Martin Luther King. INFJs should be careful to avoid, quote, overheating, closing quote, as their zeal and determination can sometimes get out of hand. As introverts, INFJs need to have some, quote, alone time, closing quote, every once in a while too, otherwise their intense internal energy reserves will get depleted really quickly. If this happens, the INFJ may surprise everyone around them by withdrawing from all their activities for a while. And since other people usually see INFJs as introverts, this can leave them both surprised and concerned. INFJs take great care of other people's feelings and expect others to return the favor. Unsurprisingly, people with this personality type are very sensitive and vulnerable to conflicts. Even the most rational INFJs may find it quite difficult to not take criticism personally. This is the INFJ's Achilles heel. If someone with an INFJ personality cannot escape the conflict, they will do their best to deal with it head on, but this will result in a lot of stress and may potentially lead to health problems and highly irrational behavior. And unfortunately, if you got Asperger's on top of that, you're fucked. Yes! That's why reason why we got into those horrible live streams those weeks ago was just too much to handle, and I had to basically pull away from them. And of course, now that was my personality type. Lumi's is a little bit less complicated. Oh, this is going to get fun. Can we read this? Yeah, it's an ESFJ personality. If someone tried to describe or define the ESFJ personality traits in 3 words, it probably would be practical, altruistic, and sociable. Forming around 12% of the population, ESFJs want to be service to others and take their commitments very seriously. They do not really worry about what role they are in as long as they get a chance to socialize with other people and feel valued and appreciated. ESFJs are great team players, always able to sense tensions and incompatibilities. They are very traditional, doing their best to support and defend authority and law. People with this personality type are also tend to be very devoted, whether they are playing the role of a party host or social worker. It is quite easy to recognize ESFJs in social events. They will find enough time to chat with everybody. As ESFJs always try to seek harmony in all possible areas, they are easily offended by others' disinterest or reluctance to participate in the activities the ESFJ holds noble and important. If uncontrolled, this may be one of ESFJ's weaknesses, and people with this personality type should consciously try to observe their own behavior around people of different cultures, background, or personal types. ESFJs pay a lot of attention to their looks and are very sensitive about their social status. Particular topic is true minefield for anyone who decides to discuss it with an ESFJ, especially if there is at least some criticism or sarcasm involved. ESFJs also respect hierarchy and do their best to achieve a position of authority. ESFJ's personalities love to be involved in conversation, focusing on practical topics or other people's lives. However, they will do their best to get out of the discussion once it touches abstract theological topics. Analyzing complex ideas and discussing causes and consequences does not interest ESFJ personalities at all, in stark contrast to the NT types. Which is funny because, well, I don't really like to get into the deep intellectual thinking about things Michele does, and so it works out great. We're kind of like bookends. We kind of fit together nicely because whereas Michele is a deep thinker and a conceptualist, I am more of a realist. Even if I am involved in the discussion of spiritual topics, I do find that I can help people to understand the spiritual realm in an everyday way, where Michele tends to get a little bit too deep and too bogged down on details. That's one of the biggest reasons why Winterville is taking so long to write, unfortunately. Here's an example from Harry S. Truman. I wonder why nearly everyone makes a father confessor out of me. I must look benevolent, or else I'm a known easy mark. Well, anyway, I like people, and I like to help them and keep them out of trouble when I can, and help them out when they get into it. The rule around here is that no one may speak to the president. I break it every day and make him speak to me. That sounds like Donald Trump. No, not quite. He's more like you in a sense, but he's got a little bit of my traits. ESFJs tend to be very warm, social, sensitive, and perceptive. These are great traits, but they can also cause difficulties for them and those around them. People with this personality type are likely to find it quite difficult to cope with situations that involve criticism or conflict. An ESFJ is likely to take their commitments extremely seriously, putting security and stability above everything else, while not forgetting little but important details in their lives. This personality trait makes them very stable and loyal partners. ESFJs prefer structure over spontaneity and value clarity, predictability, and stability in all areas of their lives. Due to the above personality traits, ESFJ women are usually seen as extraordinarily feminine and are frequently depicted as role models for both real life in movies or TV shows. ESFJ men generally express and use these traits in a different way. Very interesting. Very interesting. That piece was from a test to discover your personality type. Unfortunately, I do not have a link on this page. I didn't print that information. But I'm sure you can find the test. It's 16 major personality types. And then there's several subtypes within those. That's why there's 4 letters. Of course, we also have some other articles me and Lumi did from the very beginning. We've read this on her channel many times. Lumi and Michele, two flames that share the same physical body. How things have changed by Lumi and Finistro. Talking about when we first joined together, how much our worlds have changed for the better as a combined team. Some of these pieces, the ones that are available, like by Sunfell, are available on her page, and her links are right here on top, www.sunfell.com. And so if you want to find out more and collect a huge group of information people piece, this would be something you would love to have. Do what I did, print a booklet of the most precious web pages that you've ever collected. That way you could always go back to the paper copies and read the notes. It's a wonderful way to do it. It just makes it really nice to go back and read and review these things as we go through here. So now let me go back to the questions. I'm sure you guys got some. I know you got some. And unfortunately, I'm over there. I cannot read the questions at the same time. So let's get this on the road. Go back to the desktop. Leave the phone number on. Okay. Go back to the questions on the screen here. And very, very interesting notes to read. I guess you can say it that way. I mean, it's not exactly that simple No, but it is an interesting way of looking at it. Well, Trump is a master negotiator anyway. Let's see. I want to go back and read some of the other comments here. It's too bad, as I said, that the Twitch people have not actually even posted a comment. But then again, I just started with Twitch. So let me read the back from here. Speaking of hungry, okay. I see. Let me subscribe to Lucia Sunlight channel. Have you been keeping up with her? Not really. But when I see a piece of article I find interesting, I choose to, let's see what she says here. No, but let me subscribe to the channel. You probably have her channel saved over there, probably. Remember, whatever definition, bias, prejudice in favor or against one thing, person, or group compared with another, usually in a way to consider unfair. People Peace says true. What is the difference between bias and opinionated reporting? Interesting question. Neither present straight facts. No spin to allow viewers to decide. Well, that's true with anything. You need to use common sense to make your own decisions. People Peace says, "Is your opinions and belief?" When I was a kid, we had journalists who did research and presented the news and allowed the viewers to form their own opinions. I prefer to do that myself, but unfortunately, it doesn't always work out that way. I think the problem is Michele gets kind of caught up in a lot of things, and that's why she does what she does. Yeah. So I'm just read some of these back questions here. Why is it okay? Why does it always devolve into a T versus H issue? Trump is president and he's making a mockery of the office. No, I don't think so. After all, have you seen how the economy is doing? Especially that Apple said that they're going to be investing $300 billion into the local U.S. economy. Now we're talking about Trudeau, which is the Prime Minister of Canada. I don't know who answers she is. Sure. M&T can't let H go. He uses her derision. Well, she's using him too, so it's not really much of a difference. She can't even accept the fact that she has lost the election. Very interesting. What you say? People based. So something like that. You know, I would love to do. I wanted to give Rebecca Marine a messenger on chat sometime. And me and Lumi wanted to talk. We have talked to her privately on the phone, but she said to me that she didn't really know she would have time to do it, and she said that one of the things that's so hard is when her schedule is when she gets on chat with people. It's almost really disconcerting trying because a lot of people think she's very pretty, and she is pretty. Speaking of pretty, you saw those Democrats the piece there from Ohio there, that one beautiful blonde woman that CNN interviewed. Oh, yeah. Michelle's getting excited. Okay, in the wire, hopefully you will watch the reruns, and given the way that this is going, I'm going to say we're probably going to be doing another one of these in a few days, Sunday. Well, right now I get set for Sunday to do with the Google Hangouts on air, because at this point it's just a demonstration. It's just really was just a test, but I still am enjoying it. I'm still glad it came out really well. And so my question for everybody is: does anybody here have any new questions or comments? Caseworkers are underused. Mental health consumers also resist help because it sometimes takes them out of their comfort zone. I think that's not uncommon because the way the mental health system throughout the, especially since the Victorian era, has been really kind of, mental health is scary shit. No kidding. If you ever think about what those sanitariums were like back then, they were not nice. It wasn't until the later research by Jung and several other modern psychiatry and psychology specialists that we now have a better understanding of treatments of mental health. Sigmund Freud of course, was the father of psychoanalysis, but he was a medical doctor, so I don't know if he also wanted to always treat people using medications. He didn't seem to really focus too much on the use of psychotropic medications, but I don't know. The mental health organization back in the Victorian era was really, really scary. It was like people were guinea pigs in the asylums for the research, and some of the stuff was really bizarre. The electroconvulsive shock therapy, of course, which originally was a common treatment program, was later reevaluated and found out to be of actually practical use for some patients, and that's what ECT is still used. But they found out that the patient does not actually have to be awake during the procedure, which still has a positive ability to help kind of temporarily shock the brain back into a fairly normal state of mind. Yes. Roman, do you have any questions for me or Lumi or anyone else for that matter? We have a phone number on the screen, 860-738-8463. And let me just make sure I got that right here. Let me try to show that number. Yeah. Yes, it's on there. Okay. So, our phone number is on the screen, so you guys can certainly ask questions as well. And as far as the Twitch side goes, Twitch is being very quiet. There's no comments, but then I just created a Twitch channel a couple days ago, so don't expect I'm going to get anybody. What services does your caseworker provide to you? Originally, I was part of an ISP. That was an individualized service program, which would help me do things like learn social skills and learning how to cope with things around me where maybe I had a hard time because of my Asperger's. And sometimes, Asperger's tend to get wrapped up in a lot of things, and they can take up their whole mind. So one of the things that we learned was coping strategies. In addition to, she would help me go grocery shopping as needed and take me to the medical doctors. Now we're in a different program, which is called a CSP program. Well, I have some friends that swear by ECT. They've used it too, and they've said that it helps keep their lives going good. So ECT, of course, has been, as I said, has been proven to be very, very successful for many people, especially people who have bipolar, or even some people who suffer from seizures, things. Some people with seizures, such as 10-mil seizures, find that the ECT helps to keep your brain working. Oh, because it's off the hook. Okay, sorry about that, guys. Sometimes the system doesn't hang up. All right, 860-738-8463. And sorry about the phone was off the hook. But then again, when I was over the other desk, I wouldn't have been able to read it anyway. So 860-738-8463 is the number for the studio. And it is now on the hook. So waiting for your phone calls. And so Cletus, you want to try calling again? You certainly can. And overall, how do you guys feel about today's live stream? Do you think this is the kind of material that you enjoy as far as the communications, the open dialogue between each other and me? And there's the phone. Go ahead to that, okay? Go ahead, call you on the air.
Hi, Kathy. This is Stephen Imus, Channel 7 News. We are here at the center of the hurricane. It is currently a Mach 3. Hurricane Hudson is definitely doing damage on the streets here. There's actually somebody walking around here. I'm going to go up and talk to him. Sir, how are you handling this weather?
All right.
Hell, it's really fucking me. Sir, we can't talk like that on the air now. Sorry about that. We'll send it back to you, Kathy.
Fortunately, with YouTube, the language issue isn't quite as extreme as it is if it was on public radio or television stations in the United States. And,
wonderful insight, Kathy. Do you have any questions for me about Hurricane Hudson?
Well, let's see. You say you're representing Channel 7 News, so to speak. What
Kathy,
town?
is that you?
What state or town is that in?
Kathy, we're covering Hurricane Hudson.
I say
Did we
this
have
is
the right number? Did we call somebody on accident?
this is clear.
Let
Let me guess. This is okay. So make sure to hang up the phone, Michelle. I got it. Okay. Anyway, so go back, finish what program you are on now, please. Okay. Were you talking to him or were you talking to the guy on the phone? That's a great question. I don't know what he was talking about. But I think Michelle has done pretty good. In fact, the last time she had her MGAF studied, she's like in the 60s. She's actually improved from 25, went up to 60. And she's doing really good. The CSP, the Community Support Program, was changed because the state of Connecticut felt that the ISP program wasn't working out for the state of Connecticut. So they wanted the Department of Mental Health and Addiction Services, or DMAS, here in Connecticut, and they wanted to change the programs to Community Support Program, which means that Michelle can go to support groups and classes and things like that. It probably will be as soon as they get okay, well, my audio is not cutting out. Or it's because your microphone is falling. It's right. My microphone is, that's why. It was because my top here, my microphone slipped below the, and got all twisted. It's all set now. So, sorry about that, guys. That was just my microphone, because it's, this is designed to be attached to a shirt, and this is like a t-shirt top, and it flips around. That's why we have the other microphone on the desk here. It's not on, though. Yeah, it is. Oh. It's not very loud, though. No, it's not loud. Yeah, that's better. How about that? No, not too much, not too much. There we go. So, all right. Let's say it's 8:12, and it looks like we're doing pretty good tonight. And anybody have any questions? Okay. What type of community classes? And please be more specific. Well, at this point, the classes that they want to create is with Western Connecticut Mental Health Authority includes things like dealing with anxieties, financial management, which is an issue a lot of people on mental health have a problem with, is money management. I don't, but that's because Michelle studied business, that's why. Right. Let's see, I do have a list of the classes somewhere. I don't have right here, but I do have them. There's also classes, as I said, to deal with anxiety issues. There are classes to deal with, for those people who, for example, are dealing with coping with like a loss of a loved one, things like that. A lot of very educational classes, and some that are basically just what I call filler classes. Like, for example, music expression, creative expression. I guess isn't really a filler, but kind of is. Shopping trips to go to Walmart or to Target, Aldi, in Torrington, or Price Right. Those are more of to make sure people can get groceries and things as needed. So it's really kind of a lot of interesting things and mix of some good and bad. And Wynwood Residential Services, which used to be an ISP, is going to be working with the members. And each member has their own skills, and so one of the things is that is being discussed is possibly showing people how they can make a living using social media. I suggested that class, but I've also pointed this prior to the new AdSense changes, but I could still, of course, point out to the students that yes, you can still technically make money with YouTube, but it's going to be a lot more difficult to start bringing in an income with the new changes. But it's still be useful to learn how to set up the equipment. Well, most of my caseworker helps me by going grocery shopping, helps me get to doctor's appointments, helps me to... remember, I'm fairly independent anyway, so my needs are a lot less significant than some others in the programs, which need much more comprehensive help. Because I'm legally blind, but I'm still pretty capable of doing a lot on my own. And that's one of the things where some of the members in the program are not as capable of doing as much as I can do. Some people have a really hard time managing money, coping with stress, anxiety issues. This is where the CSP classes come in, the community support program versus the individualized service program. The ISP program is being terminated statewide, so there's no... it makes it harder for some people. They may not be able to get enough of through the community support program. And I definitely have outgrew the ISP, but me and Lumi still use some of the services of the case management to come and go grocery shopping and deal with doctor's appointments and things like that, as I need to. But most of the time I do pretty much self-independent. You have anything on? I will say one thing, Michelle. When you look at Michelle's recovery since she originally got involved with the mental health programs back in 2003, she's come a long way again. Well, the microphone's not flipped around this time. Maybe you can adjust the auto adjustment here. See if this can help here. So we're going to turn this up, so it'll make a big difference here, because this microphone is what they call unidirectional. So that might help. It might. I don't know. Okay, so let's see. Anything else? Heard nothing of the answer, which was. My case manager, as I said, takes me to doctor's appointments, grocery shopping if necessary. Will sometimes, with my request, intervene if there's an issue that I cannot directly deal with on my own, such as solicitors or bill collectors and things like that. But majority of the time, I'm pretty much doing things on my own because I'm fairly independent. As I said, there are people in the program that need a lot more case management than I do, and their case management team get into much more intense case management services. My case is completely different because there's not really much that they can do that I don't already do on my own for the most part. That's why I see my case manager on the average about once a month. Right. It used to be every week. Now Michelle pretty much sees her once a month. And I have to take a quick break, guys. I will be right back. So if you can hold on a minute while I go take care of something simple. Unfortunately, I don't have a commercial to put in. But I'll be right back, guys. So hang cool. Watch out for the cord. Watch out. Got it. All right, right back. Okay. Plug back in. Okay, there we go. Yeah, this cord, by the way, is long enough to bring it into the bathroom, but I choose not to go that far because there was a program through the Department of Mental Addictions, Health and Addiction Services. That was a training program, but they don't provide housekeeping services. That is something that you have to pay for yourself. I'm also involved with the Board of Education Services for the Blind. They don't have any program for that either. So any kind of housekeeping work is I have to pay for it out of my own pocket, which makes it a lot harder for me. Yeah. And like I said, I had Sue help me clean the place, and it already looks like a wreck again. I was gonna even have Sue was potentially gonna be behind housing, and I asked her if she wanted to possibly live here as a roommate, and she said yes. And then she said I would help to clean up, but the landlord doesn't really want her to do that because of one reason. Her and her boyfriend fell behind in the rent, and they have to negotiate with him to prevent being thrown in the street. So unfortunately, that didn't work out. Dory, by the way, is not that good at housekeeping. It's again, part of it's because of her disability. She has a much different level of seeing things than I do. Dory, like a lot of people who are handicapped, mentally handicapped, has their own little issues with the way they see the world around them, which is very different than the way I see it. Or the way I see it. Or the way... I mean, Dory's a nice person and everything, but she's kind of wrapped up with other things, like her family and her daughter and her games on YouTube, or on Facebook, YouTube videos. But since Michele removed the flash on this computer because flash is obsolete, unfortunately, Dory is a little bit disappointed that she can't play her games on the computer anymore. Michele explained that we had to take the flash out because it's obsolete, and the version that was being used by Google was obsolete. So we did install a newer flash, but it's not compatible with Facebook. Or the Chrome program can't find the... Well, I don't think you can say that Dory's not lazy. As I said, I think she has kind of got wrapped up into things that doesn't really make her very much a go-getter. Compared to Michele, Michele is very much a go-getter. If you look at all the work that Michele does, she's out there every day. And mostly Michele, because of her INFJ and her Asperger's, really prefers to have her downtime, her quiet time. But Michele is also used to pretty much being a solitary person working by herself on projects. Yes, she does. Yes, she does. Avoidance, that's exactly what it is. Dory doesn't like to get involved with other people's life. She likes to avoid conflict. I like to avoid conflict too, but if I have to get into a conflict with someone, I would rather see a peaceful resolution to the problem. It's just like it said in those two pieces that we read about me and Lumi's personality types. In some cases, Lumi will do her best to try to speak out in defense of me, but also will try to look at the problem from both sides. So that's one of the things. It's as I said, with me and Lumi together, we can overcome a lot of handicaps and be excellent moderators and speakers. Yeah, it's 2010. Wow, that's 8 years we've been together. Okay, Ruby, I'll see you later. I hope that you enjoyed this conversation, and if there's anybody else that would like to continue asking questions, this is your chance. I will be here for a little longer. It's 8:25, and say I'll be on for a few minutes. If no one else has any questions or anything, we can just go ahead and get ready to wrap it up. So let's have a speed round, guys. You got 5 minutes. 5 minutes. Ask your questions. This is a speed round, which means you got 5 minutes. Actually, 5 minutes and 4 minutes and 30 seconds. So anything in 4 minutes and 30 seconds. This is your time. This is your time, guys. Absolutely. And so let me go ahead and get ready to wrap it up. Get the end credits ready to go. And so let me just temporarily scoot the screen out of the way so I can see your questions. So far, nothing. And nothing on Twitch either. I don't think we'll see anything on Twitch right away. No, probably not. Okay, so I'm really, let me just wrap this up myself and let you guys know I'm very glad that we had a wonderful conversation tonight. And I thank you for being on this special inaugural live stream for Twitch. And of course, this is the first time we used Restream IO. I'm going to be interested to see how, when I replay the video, how it came out myself, because I have never used this software before. And of course, this is the first time we used Cam Twist, and that was another exciting effort. There's so many changes that was done on this video that has totally changed everything. By the way, we are not necessarily always going to have the other studio set up. I just did tonight just so I could show you that we can switch cameras. Don't forget, Sunday we'll have more of our traditional live stream at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. And as such, we'll see you all at that time. And for now, do me a favor and stay safe, stay warm, make sure you have plenty of wood, fuel, and stuff like that. And for now, thanks very much, guys. Thanks for being part of the show. See you soon. Yep, time for the question. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, everybody.